Well, hello everyone. Hello Instagram. My name is Elena Baydina, and today I will be talking about how art and coloring can help you work with your anxiety and increase your creativity. I have been thinking about live stream like that for a while because I do have a psych degree, but I also am an artist. And I did write this book. It's called Chakra Book, The Coloring and Creativity. And I do get random questions about this book, about, for example, how was this book written? How do you actually make it work? Even some questions about what I should use to color it. And I was thinking that just like any creative, if I do not make a long video that describes everything, I do not feel like the project is actually finished. So today, this is something that I will be discussing. I will also save this stream, and I will probably copy it on my YouTube page as well. And let's begin. I have not done a live stream here on Instagram by myself ever. So this will be a completely new experience to me. I'm going to see how this goes. I do want to hit some target points today though, which are related to psychology and art. So if you are passionate about these topics, this stream will be interesting for you as well. I did create this book for the people, which means that I would like you to just take a deep breath in and focus on one thing you would like to have more of in your life. Keep that in mind. We'll get back to that later. So, one more time. I am an artist with a psych degree. I did get my degree in psychology from Roosevelt University in Chicago, but life did not combine my professional work in the most direct way with psychology. But there is no such thing as a psychologist who never practices psychologist in her actual life. So that's how this book was created. So first of all, I would like to cover the topic of art therapy. What is art therapy? I will say a few nerdy sentences right now. I mean, I know that Instagram is not typically a platform that promotes long conversations. I mean, videos that do not last longer than 7 seconds don't typically perform well on this platform. But I hope that for my audience and people who do visit my channel and my Instagram account, this information is actually digestible, because I do think that my audience is a little bit above average in that sense. So the thing is, I created this book in my second year of college, and my thesis was about connecting art and psychology, two of the biggest passions that I have. My thesis was literally built on the basis of the research of the Jungian School of Psychology. So what did the Jungian School of Psychology discover about art therapy, and how is it actually useful in practice? Is that when we are practicing art, some sort of art, and usually, ideally, it should be done in the predictable setting. It's important that it's not just art, it also has to be predictable setting. It does help us integrate the emotions that are stored in our subconscious and have not been integrated yet by our psyche. So the art activity that you do, that is number one, repetitive, and number two, is done in a setting that is predictable and safe, does contribute to the reduction of anxiety and does help your brain process the information in your subconscious and put it on, integrate it within your psyche. What I want to say is that Carl Jung, who started it all, right? He believed that artistic expression allows individuals connect more with the archetypes, the universal archetypes, and explore the emotions that we might not be aware of. So even if you are not actively, consciously aware, of certain emotions that you are processing while you are doing something artistic, anything artistic or creative in a setting that is also predetermined, that means that you are subconsciously still processing them. So it is beneficial to you regardless of you being aware of it or not. And this is what is so cool about art therapy, is that it actually does work in a sense that is the most lazy way. You don't necessarily have to do something that requires heavy homework. For example, sit down, write everything out, or go ahead and work on specific questions that your therapist sent you. Or I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to meditate and I'm gonna try to not think of anything else, right? All of these activities that I have just listed are definitely beneficial and are useful, but they're not really directly benefiting your psyche in the lazy way. But coloring does work in the lazy way, and I would like to talk a little bit more about that. So basically, we have art therapy, right? We have this idea that if we are engaged in a creative activity that is in a predictable setting, we are processing the emotions. So these are the two things that I integrated in my book. What did I do? In this book, you will have a lot of patterns that are repeating themselves. For example, I'm going to open this page. Here we go. Oh, actually, yeah, let me just grab this book that I was actually coloring myself already so I can show an example. So there are specific patterns, right, that repeat themselves on here, here, and here. And this mandala is specifically designed with art therapy and Jungian archetypes in mind, in a sense that it has been divided into 4 parts and it has been balanced in a way that would be the most beneficial for your brain to grasp this information, massage it on a subconscious level while you're going through the natural lines. It is very important that the lines are natural and flowy. You cannot just do any lines. And ideally, you also have predictability. So if you are working on a specific chapter, there will be symbols that are repeating themselves. So you start working here, then you go to the next page. There's again a swan, right? Over here, we have some oranges. Over here, we also have some oranges. I already started working on this page, as you can see. So predictability, that's number 1, and creativity together. You do not need to like coloring. This book really is, even though it is the coloring book, it is not really about liking color, liking to color. It is not just creativity. It is a psychological tool. And I want to stress this because I am an artist. I create big paintings. You can see one behind me. I write books. I illustrate books. I create a lot of artistic content, but I really, really do not enjoy coloring as an activity on its own. And the reason I am coloring, however, as you can see, I colored this, is because it is a tool that helps me work with my psyche through a specific, the most lazy way that doesn't require extra effort. So this is something that this book can give you, is that tool that can allow you work with it directly and not take extra effort, really. That's all we want, right? We want no effort activity that allows our anxiety to calm down, for example. So again, one more time, I just want to readdress that, but because I feel like art therapy is undermined in a sense that it's not quite defined as well. So what does our brain want to get to take our anxiety down? It wants 2 things. Thing number one, it needs predictable environment. And when I talk about predictable environment, I don't talk about just the environment around you. Of course, if you have a routine, it's wonderful. But I am talking about predictable environment as in, what am I following? I cannot have just random dynamics on a picture that I am working on. I want to have orange to orange to orange. I want to have wave to wave to wave. I want to have some lines that I can follow that will lead me somewhere, right? So this is the predictability I'm talking about. I want to have predictability in a sense that, oh my goodness, I'm not an artist. How do I pick my colors? There are colors for you that are suggested in this book that you should use in each chapter that gives you that predictability. I want to know what I'm doing here, right? So there is a preface to that. That's predictability and safe environment. And number two is that I want the repetitive lines that go from one line to another line. They need to be consistent. So I did write myself a few notes here, including the questions that I got from you. But I do want to say that if you are somewhat familiar with the dynamic meditation, this is basically the pinnacle of it. It's the laziest way of doing this. Again, coloring is not only about being creative. It is not only related to people who have creativity. Coloring is a tool that you can use to help your psyche integrate and process emotions that have been stored in your subconscious and have not been processed yet. So right now, I would like you to join a very short meditation. It's not going to take us more than a few minutes, but it will help you reset your mind. We will do that and then we will continue with the stream. So let's breathe in through our nose and try to see that the air goes all the way down to your tummy. So it does help to take your hands and put them on your tummy. Let's breathe into our nose and out through our mouth. And one more time, breathe into your nose. Make your air go all the way down. Once it reaches your tummy, let's breathe out through your mouth. And one more time, let's breathe into our nose and out through our mouth. All right, so I would like you to right now think, while you are there, think about one thing that you would like to have more of in your life. One thing. Into your nose. Now think about that thing. And out through your mouth. And one last time. Into your nose. And out through your mouth. All right. You can go ahead and open your eyes right now. And now let's just look at the book. I will be using the book that I have already been coloring so I can explain it a little bit better. So here we go. How this book is structured. In the Chakra Book, I have 7 chapters. Each chapter is related to a certain chakra, but how I would like you to think about it is the object of your life, the subject in your life that you would like to work on. So, for example, if I look at the root chakra, it explains right here that it resonates with the vibration of presence in here and now. If you feel like you are a little bit lost, if you have hard time concentrating, if you are out of balance, this is the chakra that you should be focusing on. Or I can say, well, I feel like I need to work more on my discipline and my willpower. And this is the aspect of the solar plexus chakra. So this is the chakra that resonates with willpower, creativity, discipline, and transformation. All of those things, right? So this is the chakra that covers this subject. So if you want to focus on the discipline, you can go ahead and work on this chakra. If you want to focus more on balancing, the root chakra would be for you. If you want to work more on intuition, like you feel like you want more intuition in your life, you will be working on the eye chakra, and this is another chapter in here. So what you need to do is you need to kind of look at this book first and look at it as a tool. There are 7 aspects of life that do fall within the categories of these chakras, and they go sort of similar to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. When we go from the most basic needs, we want safety and security, then we go to higher and higher and higher until we reach self-actualization all the way at the top. I do not want to put too much of a heavy psychological information in this video because I do understand that this is internet, and internet wants something short, easy, and fun, and as fast as possible. Give me that in 7 seconds. So I get that. However, I do have faith. I have faith in people who are multifaceted and are willing to explore more. So what I want to say, this is how the book is structured. I decided I want to work more on inspiration, for example, the throat chakra. What it has right here is a short meditation that describes how to focus on it. It explains, it gives you the predictability that shows you which colors you want to use. For example, right here we have blue, turquoise, blue indigo, light blue, and silver. I suggest go ahead and color these colors in, just so you have the reference for the future. You are not limited to these colors, but you have something to start with, and that gives you the predictability, stability, environment, or an environment in which you should be working on reducing your anxiety or increasing the quality that you would like to work on, right? So we have the colors here. This is the fun part. It says symbols. It says be aware of the symbols, planet guardians, zodiac signs, and all of those things. When I was creating this, and mind this, I did this book, I did this thesis when I was second year of college. It was a long time ago. I was really into exploring different aspects of Zodiac and the teaching of chakras and all of those things. So I thought it would have been really, really fun to, number one, give tribute to the Hindu culture that did give us this teaching of chakras, and I decided to incorporate it into my thesis. This is why I included all of these things. And number two, I wanted to give it more of a kind of a mystical, mysterious even meaning, because I think that when we are working with our subconscious, anything can be there. So this is why I ended up including that as well. And you can do the find me game here. So you can, for example, look for, oh, this is a symbol of Virgo. So you can find the symbol of Virgo somewhere on the coloring page. Or look, this is a symbol of treble clef, because treble clef, it is not focusing here right now. Let me see if it does, if I do it this way. Nope. Okay, there is a symbol of treble clef. You'll have to believe me. And there will be a treble clef right here in the middle of her tummy. And then you will also find another one on the next page. There is another treble clef here. And there will be another treble clef next page. So you will be finding the symbols throughout the book. So that just adds another activity inside that book that gives you the predictability and also makes it fun. I did talk about the flowy lines. So very important, right? These lines are all very flowy in a sense that they are, I did that on purpose because I wanted to make sure that our brain gets this massage feeling. that comes from experiencing and coloring and staying within certain flowy natural line. I'm pretty sure that you will understand what I'm talking about once you actually try it, like at least once. So that's the book. So 7 chapters. Each chapter has a meditation. Each chapter has the symbols to look for. Each chapter has a mandala and a few more additional coloring pages to work on. So, what did I want to talk about next? The next thing was really about the surprise reveal, I think, that I wanted to mention. Oh, one more thing that I want to mention is that when you do work with this book, if you feel anxious, let's say at some point during your day, you feel anxious, you feel out of place, or maybe you just want to spend time with the best person on earth, yourself, for a little bit. What do you want to do? You want to go ahead, take this book, sit down with it, set a nice atmosphere with it, and ask yourself a question. Before you start coloring, just ask yourself a question. What am I bringing more of in my life today? Or what am I reducing, right? What is the source of my anxiety? If I feel imbalanced, if I feel uncertain, do I need more willpower? That's in my tummy. Do I need more inspiration? That's right here in my throat. Do I need more in intuition maybe? Do I want to be able to feel people better? That is more right here, right? So depending on where it is, where do I feel my anxiety? You can go ahead and find the chakra, find the chapter in the book of a chakra that is related to it. That would be the throat, that would be the tummy, that would be the stability, which is in your butt. And then, for example, intuition, right? So you do have to go through the introduction in the chapters, which is literally 2-3 sentences on the top. That would allow you to choose better for yourself, and yes, to also guide you, right? To give you that predictability together with creativity that do manifest in processing and integration, anxiety, and other subconscious emotions. So, now it's time for the bonus. Something that I wanted to announce on my Instagram for a while, but I do get really, I don't know, I've been really weird with Instagram lately in the last couple of months, and I'm not quite sure if it's actually getting where I would like it to go. But nevertheless, I do want to mention the bonus. Also, by the way, I'm really sorry if you can hear my cat meowing. There is no way I can stop this. I think she's just on a roll, and yeah, I'm sorry about that. What did I want to say? Oh, the bonus. So, if you did purchase this book from me, like I said, in the book, in each chapter, we have a meditation. And in this meditation section, I decided to add the secret link to the actual recorded meditations that helps you settle down before you start coloring. So for example, you sit down and you're like, I want to focus on my intuition. Intuition is, according to this book, relies in the realm of the eye chakra. Right? This one. This page. Okay. I can click on the link and I can listen to the meditation that helps me settle before I start coloring. It's about 7 minutes meditation and then the music goes on. I recorded this collaboration with my dear friend. Her nickname is Isabel Ra. You can go ahead and find her on Instagram as well. I will leave the credentials if Instagram records my video to the end of this video and then attach it. So there is a music that she wrote to my meditation that I recorded. So you will not have to read the meditation. You can listen to it. that can attune you and center you and help you focus faster. It helps you arrive to the balanced feeling faster. So that's what I wanted to mention. That's the big reveal. If you did purchase this book, please DM me, direct message me, and I will send you the secret link. If you purchase this book today and from now on, I will add this bonus from now on to everyone who purchases this book, because I think that nowadays, what do people need? People need faster access to pretty much any state, because we don't have that much time to settle ourselves down. But our anxiety, nevertheless, doesn't go anywhere, right? Our anxiety, our feeling of settlements, it doesn't go anywhere. So what I would like you to remember is that just DM me here on Instagram, or again, if you purchase this book from now on, it will also come with the actual meditations that will align with each chakra. Okay, so that was the big reveal. I did want to talk a little bit about the history of how this book came to life. If you do have any questions, please go ahead and text me right now under this video, because after I am done with covering the history of creating the book, I will answer the questions. I did write down the questions that came to me through Instagram, but who knows, maybe you have a random question right now. So, all right, so let me just show you the stages. This is usually fun. People like to see the process of creating things. So here we go. Ta-da! This is what this book looked like a long time ago when I first did it. So see, it has been my friend, my dearest friend James, hi James, who has been along, we did so many adventures together, and he did such a great job at helping me out with this project, because I am the creator. I am not someone who is capable of sitting down and meticulously measure something. Oh my goodness, every time I participate in an art show and they ask me, what are the sizes of your paintings? I think this is one of the reasons I don't participate in the art shows that much anymore, because I hate measuring things. This is really, I can't. I need to get better with this, but yeah. But James did such a wonderful job. He actually helped me bond my first book, and as you can see, the title was in color, because I did paint one of the illustrations prior to that for this one. So these are the books that I've had, a big stack of these books that I participated in the art shows. It even has over here my old website. It says coloring book, and it used to cost $27. Okay, and it says that my Instagram is here actually up to date, which is good. So these are the books that I have been participating in my first art shows in every so often, when there's an art market, and I had a whole bunch of, I had a stack of these, and I have I think 2 or 3 left, so they all got sold, which is great. But yeah, this is what it looked like before. I did spend about 3 months just planning this book out. It was a whole summer of every Saturday after yoga, I would go to Starbucks or some other coffee shop, and we would meet up with James over there. He was working on something else and I was working on something else, but we were both working on our creative projects. And this is how this book came to be. Well, not the cover, but the content of it. This is how I was working on it. This is when I decided, maybe I should add the colors for people who don't know how to pick the color, or have issue or trouble with deciding, right? And then I kept going. I'm like, it would be fun to add the symbols. Maybe it would be interesting for someone who is also into astrology or some other symbols, chakras, yoga, meditation, right? Maybe it would also be helpful for those people, like the energy of water, the energy of fire, all of those things, right? So I had a great time researching for this book. So this is what it was. There's no ISBN, right? And the old website, which is, you know, right now it's elenabaydina.com, my name, nobody can take it. It's great. Okay, second stage was this book. See how thin it is? So this is the book that I actually got signed and published with one of the publishers. I do not want to say their name. And the reason why I do not want to mention their name is that they did put their books on sale way more than often. So every time I would have sold a book, they would end up sending, like for example, the book is, I think it used to be like $37 or something like that. But then it did go, I think the sale price they put was something ridiculous, like 15, like half, more than half. And then I would only earn, I don't know, roughly maybe $7 per book. I have screenshots somewhere of the every time. I mean, it did give me like a good feeling every time the book sold, right? Every time the book sells, they would send me like a little pop-up. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was actually worth it because, yeah. But that's not even my biggest problem. My biggest problem with this particular edition was that they did a good job on the cover, like how the cover felt, but the paper itself in the first chapter, and some of these books are still on Amazon. Please don't buy the first edition. Please don't do that. The pages are very thin, right? So yes, you can use pencils, definitely. Markers, not so much, and definitely no paints on this paper because it does. It can tear, I think. I mean, pencils would be fine for someone who like very light colorers. Yeah, so for some people like that, it would have been fine. But yeah, I mean, the illustrations are here, they're pretty, but unfortunately, I was really dissatisfied with, okay, here she is. She had to come here. Hello, I'm the one who's yelling in the background all the time. Right, Suds? Okay, so this is the pinnacle book. This is where I stop with this project, and this is what is going to be is on my website right now. You can also order through Instagram through a DM, but on the website is probably the easiest. What is happening here in this book is that this paper I picked myself. I also bought out. I stopped the production of the previous edition with those publishers. I told them that they do not have the right to print anymore, and I did change the paper so you can use. I used watercolor on this paper, so that is a sign that it's very durable. I would probably not use. I honestly I don't really know which medium would be the hardest, right? I think you should be using either pastels or pencils, ideally, right? But I personally do not like pencils because they take a while to color. I like watercolors for my practice, right? So yeah, the paper is so much better. Also, it has, let me see, 60 pages of the coloring pages. And I own the ISBN, so this is the case where the artist actually gets most of the profit. Did I spend money printing these? Yes, but I don't really mind because I know it will come back to me, and I know that this is something that I have my name on, and I can be proud of this product. So yeah. So this one is the final version. So it went from this, and then to this, and then finally to this. So this is it. Now, let me get back to the list. What did I want to say? Oh, okay. So, the questions. Now it's time for the questions. Sats, do you have questions? All right, so Emily on Instagram asked me, how is the second edition different from the first one? And this is where actually what I just said comes into play. So the first edition that was published officially has been published by a third party. I did not pick the paper. And then the second edition, I did pick the paper. When the artist picks the paper, it's important. That's one thing. And number 2, this one has 60 pages, well, 59. And then this one is much thinner. I really don't, they didn't number the pages for me in here, so I can't really tell you how many pages there actually are. But yeah, so second edition is the best choice. Also, the first edition will probably be off the market completely by the end of the next year when they are done with all the sales and selling all of those things through other venues. I did see my book in Walmart one time, and that was fun. I was like, oh wow, I made it to Walmart. I did not even know. Okay, so that's the difference. Another question I have here is from Avash. What are your recommendations for coloring materials, and where is the best place to get the coloring materials? You know, a quick answer would be that whichever medium is easier for you to work with, right? Whichever, like if it's easy for you to have a stack of pencils on your desk, or like I know that they sell those baby pencils nowadays on Amazon that you can get. All of those, pretty much anything that is easier for you, right? If you're not an artist, if you're not working with fine art, pencils really is the way to go, or markers for that matter, right? Like markers are usually good too. I am sorry, I do need to pick this one up, otherwise she'll keep yelling at me. Okay, but I do have an idea for you. If you got the coloring book and you're not typically, I don't know, painting or coloring or anything like that, like you're not an artist, you got it as a tool for your psyche that supports your psychological health, that adds on to your spiritual practice. What you can do is you can plan a date for yourself. For example, you can go ahead and go to an art store, any art store you can find next to you. Like Blick Arts is good. I can't even think of like other places. Any art store that you can find around you that is easy to get to, right? So go in that art store and try. On paper, they usually have a little piece of paper where you can try different markers and pens and pencils on, and try and look for the softest pencils or softest medium. Usually soft pastel is good, but it's a little messy. So if you don't like messy, just go for the soft pencil. Just don't go for hard pencils, I would say, because like the harder the pencils are, the harder it will be for you to color. So just don't go for that. Or try some markers. So it can be like a little date with yourself. Oh, I can see Avash right there. Hi, Avash. That's great. Okay. I honestly did not expect many people visiting this stream right now, because I know it's during the day and it's a Friday and people are still working. But I decided I'm going to record it anyway. So I was just answering Avash's question of like where to get the tools for coloring this book. I know that someone did suggest to me a long time ago to get a whole bunch of like little pencil sets on eBay and just add the price to that to the book and sell them together. But the reason why I did not want to do that is because not everyone likes to color with pencils. A lot of people like markers. And then another reason is that I don't want you to be limited to that. I want you to, this book is a tool. It is not just an artistic outlet. It is a tool and I would like you to explore which setting is working the best for your practice, right? So plan yourself a little date to an art store. It can be a little cutesy art store, and I think a lot of people who are not artists would still enjoy just being there because it's just nice to be around. Go in that store and see if you can go ahead and try some of the pencils out, right? Try, I don't know, crayons would actually be a great idea too, right? I know that crayons are usually associated with childhood, but this is really not, like, it's nothing serious. You're not trying to create a masterpiece, right? Like, you're trying to just find something that you can work with. That's all. So see which one feels the best. Which material is the easiest to access, right? Like, put them somewhere on a shelf, wherever you have. I know that some of my readers and some of my followers on Instagram are really advanced with their yoga and spiritual practices, and they have the designated space for meditation and everything like that. I'm not one of those people, but I do know that I need to have some sort of accessible tools. I have, actually not here, but in the other cart, I do have special markers just for coloring that just sit there, and I use them for coloring because if I did not have something readily available, I would never do it. It needs to be in the reach of hand, right? Because again, this is not your creative outlet only. This is your psychological practice. It is for your psyche. It is for your brain. It is for your soul. Okay, next question that I have is from Tanya. Tanya asked, what challenges did you experience while publishing the book? That is a big question, and it is a big question because, number one, I am very sensitive to sizes and all of those things. I hate measuring things, like I said before. So I think one of the biggest challenges for me was that I first needed to figure out how to put the book together, how many pages am I allowed to print, what are the requirements, going through all of those mundane questions, but they are obviously necessary, and I'm not saying that they're unimportant, but they're just hard to me. So definitely anything connected with numbers usually takes extra effort for me to go through. So that was hard. Also, I had to learn the whole thing of how to copyright your material, right? This book is copyrighted completely. Nobody can use it. Or the meditations also, they are copyrighted. I went through the whole legal procedure of copyrighting my intellectual property. That's one thing. I had to learn how to buy an ISBN and how to register your ISBN to your book, all of those things. I had to make sure that I learn about the types of paper that things are printed on. So a lot of technical things that really I did not normally think of as an artist. That's something that were some of definitely the hardest challenges. Okay. What else do I see here? Kate is asking, what is the ideal routine for working with this book? So the ideal routine for working with this book, number one, take a breath in, breathe out, wrap your ears. Sometimes it helps to get the blood flow and connect with yourself for a second. Think, what is it that you would like to focus on? Do you want to reduce anxiety? Or where do I feel the need in my body today? Where do I feel imbalanced? Do I feel here in my tummy? Do I feel imbalanced in my throat? Did I not speak up enough for example, in a meeting today, and I feel that need has not been satisfied? It's definitely in self-expression area in the throat, right? So if I have this need right here, I feel this anxiety here in my throat, or I feel some sort of imbalance in my throat, I did not self-express myself enough, this is what I should be focusing on working. And like I said, the 7 chapters are divided in the areas of life, and they are related to everyday areas of life. So if I feel it right here, if I did not express it myself enough, I'm going to go ahead and look at the throat chakra meditations. then you can go ahead and click on the meditation, because now you will have the actual audio, music, and me navigating you through this process. And you can start coloring, right? It has the specific colors that have been pre-chosen for you, that have been picked for you. So to wrap it up, oh, actually, sorry, hold on a second. There was one more question. Okay, where did it go? Oh, so from Penny, which part of the process interested you most? Meditation creation, art design, or publishing? That's a good question. Well, obviously publishing is out of the window, right? I was not interested. I mean, I could live without the information of how to get an ISBN, or how to measure your book, or how to put all those things. Like, really, I am the creator in my core. I am just the creator, and all what I want to do is actually create, right? It's once I'm done creating something, my brain already went to the next creative step. Like, I do not want to sit in my creation for years. It's actually sometimes quite tedious, right? Like, okay, I created this, now I have to put it all together, publish it, learn how to publish it. See that, like, give up on these publishers, go my own way, right? Like how mostly what I do in life is just end up going my own way anyway, so I should just start with that, but who knew, right? So publishing aspect of this process was definitely not the fun part. But you're asking here for meditation creation or art design. These are the two things that I think were interesting to me from different perspectives. So art design was really fun, not just from the perspective of creating just the process of drawing, because obviously I'm an artist and I love to draw. That I do love. But also the research. Like, for example, when I was reading about the heart chakra, right? And I was like, oh, what is heart chakra related to? What kind of essential oils would go with it, right? So like every chapter has essential oils recommendation, or what kind of precious stones you could use, right? Like, I really loved enjoying like reading about all of those things and incorporating that in. So for example, here it says the heart chakra right here, we have essential oils or incenses of lily. So guess what? I have Lily of the Valley drawing inside in the heart chakra section. Or, for example, I see there is Lily of the Valley, there's Rose, so there will be, okay, I don't know, I don't think that it likes to focus that much. There will be roses here, right? So this right here is the rose. And then when you go to the next page here, I incorporated the roses images in here, right? So they all kind of intertwined together here. So I loved exploring putting those two things together. Like, okay, what is it that I paint? I wanted to not just make it pretty, I wanted to make it meaningful. And then for the art designs, I definitely enjoyed that aspect. And the meditation creation was fun too. Isabel Ra, the musician who wrote the background music for this book, we've known each other for I think over 10-15 years, maybe longer, like a very long time. And she lived here in the States for a while. We spent a lot of good time together, really. And now she moved back to Russia, I believe. And then she's a very artistic person, and she did create the meditations that would align specifically with, again, the chakras and with, I would say, with the areas or aspects that we're working on. Like, for example, I wrote a text for the meditation, right? That would help you release your anxiety in terms of self-expression. That's a throat chakra meditation. You can go ahead and listen to it before you color it. And then what she would do is she would listen to the meditation, kind of channel it through and see what kind of tones or musical beats would go into the composition that would work as a background. So she did a really good job. I did give her some specific points about what kind of music it should be, and there are some aspects in the composition itself that I did comment on, but she did a wonderful job putting that together. So that's what it was about. Okay, so let me just wrap this up right now. If we get any more questions. Okay, I think these were the most interesting questions that I found on my Instagram page. But let me just wrap this up. Okay, so to wrap this up, again, my name is Elena Baydina. I am an artist with a psych degree. This is my book, the Chakra Book. That is a art therapy tool for integrating your emotions. It is not a coloring book only. It's important. I have created this video and I will keep it as a recording in case I have questions asked about this book. And now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next project. I did wait for it for quite a while. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that the thing that you have in your mind since the beginning of this video, when I asked you, what do I want more of in my life, comes true. And send you a lot of hugs. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. And you can also go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube, which I will upload this video to as well. All right. I'm wishing you all balance, happiness, right? Subconscious emotions integration. And I will see you on Instagram. Okay? Bye-bye. How do I turn this down? How do I turn it off? Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying thank you. Oh, end now. Okay, I found it.